Hey, y'all, welcome to the Reality or Not podcast with your boy, Shantae McMillan, DJ Reality, and your boy, Brian Clancy from Nothing New Under the Sun. How you doing, Brian?
Hey, man, I'm blessed and impressed with the life God gave me. What about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Got good energy. Back still is what it is, but, we still figuring it out. But,
Okay, I see you still shuffling the leg up, leg down.
yeah, man, it's shifting. It's constantly shifting to make sure that you can, that I can find some type of comfort within this chair. Like, nigga, the only comfort space is the bed. And I'm like, man, I ain't about to be bedridden for the rest of my life. So, but
Oh man, you gotta get you one of these bad babies. Oh,
what's
man.
that?
This is a massage.
Oh, the massage, the massage boy.
Yeah.
I mean, but listen, I'm telling you, it don't matter. Like when I get up, that shit is a slow walk. Like, like that shit is always constantly trying. I was like, okay, let me, keep shifting. So I'm moving around and doing stuff. But all that being said, what's some stuff you want to? I know we got some topics, but we had one of the topics we had is life lessons as an adult. You said life lessons as an adult, or what we learned from being a kid to an adult?
So what I wanted to do. Wait, before I say that, this zero G2. So that was one of the reasons why I bought it. I wonder what zero Z was. But it holds you where the basically your bottom top is at the same as your top, and then like these rollers, they can hurt some, but like, so don't get this one, don't get this brand, but get man, the one that I want is a Homomedics, and that mug is nice, but this is what I bought myself for Father's Day. And that's probably one of the lessons that I learned in life as a kid. Because
how much does it run you? How much did it run you?
Man, I think I paid like I want to say I had a coupon, so I paid like $900. I think it was like $1,500.
I'm thinking like the thousands. Like I had one of my friends. He sent me well, it wasn't a chair, but it was a treadmill with a screen on it, and I'm like, damn, shit is getting more expensive. And he asked me how much did I think it cost, and I was like, I don't know, maybe $5,000, $4,500. He's like, no, that boy is $15K, and I'm like, man, shit is.
What did do?
No in hell would I have a $15K treadmill in my house. I just don't like. I don't have any kids, or I'm not married or anything like that. But if I was to do any of those two things, I would still go to the gym at that cost. I just, that's just crazy for me to buy any, like, hell, even the Peloton trips me out. I think they're around maybe like 3,000 or 4,000 or something. Might be a little less now. But
and you got to pay a subscription. That's the thing that people don't be understanding.
Yeah,
like it don't work the right way if you don't pay a prescription. I mean, a subscription. I said prescription.
Bro, listen, I go to cycling class, LA Fitness every Saturday morning. Well, most Saturday mornings. And then even this is one place called Cycle Gang. Shout out to Cycle Gang. They Michigan State alum, but they have a cycle gym on the south side, like in Camp Creek, that I pay. I don't know. I think it's maybe about $10 or $20 per class or something like that. Oh, but you can get a membership too. But all that being said, no way in hell I'm gonna pay $3,000 or $4,000 for a bike that's just go sit in my house. Then when I was in Chicago, I had a treadmill that sat in my house, and it was in my apartment, and that shit was in the fucking living room, like TV's in front of it, right next to the couch. Nigga, I ran on that bitch for like 3 times, nigga. Like, and I stayed in that apartment for 4 years. Nigga, like, I just went on it, like, I just sold it. I was like, yo, and that's why, like, sometimes us is as black people, or I want to say black people, I think people in general, but I speak from the black people delegation, is that we get things, we hold on to them based off of thinking that they have this particular value. And it's like, nah, nigga, just let it go. Like I said, that treadmill, I think I maybe sold it for $60, but that shit is worth way more to somebody else than, like, I wasn't using it at all. I still go to the gym consistently, and I was going to the gym at that time consistently, but I wasn't using the treadmill at the crib. I was like, nah, man, get rid of that shit. Just having extra shit in your house for no reason. You know, that's how you get all of the clutter and all of the things. And it's like, bro, and then you get to the point like, oh, I shouldn't get rid of it. So,
man, lesson learned as a child. My mom would buy stuff, especially exercise equipment, and never use that stuff. I like you see the stuff like the board on what you call it, and I was like, why would you keep buying this stuff and pay these 3 payments of $29.99 or whatever, and never use it? Like it's we had the Suzanne Summers thing that like. Like, and I'm like, Ma, like, if you really want to work out or you really want to do something, so like that's a lesson that I learned as a kid.
Yeah, that falls within this category. I'm trying to stay on topic, but no,
but one of the biggest lessons
that it's on sale don't mean you have to buy it.
Hey, like I'm your mom's nephew, dog, because like I'll be finding stuff on I bought some pillows. This pillow, right? The set on Amazon was $128. It's some cool seam or whatever, right? You know how much I got it for?
How much?
$28.
I was about to say $40.
Yep. $28.05. That was the total, right? And so I was like, hey, I do need some because I got a bed that doesn't have any pillows on there. But now I'm looking at it like, hey, I kind of like these. Maybe I'll keep them for myself. But they got that little cool gel in there. So like, cool as the other side of the pillow. But so I do seize the deal sometimes. But again,
bro, you got to get out. Listen, man, what I'm starting to do now is I'm starting to get rid of clothes that I got like this little section in the basement that like I throw stuff by the door. So when garbage day happens, I just pick the whole thing up and I just put it in the dumpster or in a green trash can or whatever. Just because it's like, bro, I've had this shit. Only thing I got so I have this Kobe Bryant shirt and it's from Shaq. I don't know if you remember when
you told me you was gonna look for it the last podcast.
Huh?
You told me you was gonna look for it the last podcast.
I know where it's at. I'm not gonna wear it because I've never been to hey, I gotta go viral or anything like that. But that's one of them things. Is like the shirt literally says Kobe, tell me how my ass tastes. You know what I'm saying? And it's from the Shaq little rap and stuff like that when they won a championship in Miami. But I'm like. But I don't know why I'm holding on. It just feels like I feel like I need to keep it, but I need to throw it away because I'm never going to wear it again, just based off of my man demise and passing and stuff like that. Like I'm not going to wear it again. But I'm trying to get out of it. Like throw that shit away, or give it away or something.
That's a collectible. It might be a collectible at one point, right?
Fuck that, man. It's hard to know how much we keep collecting shit. That's the problem. We collect so much shit.
Hey, I ain't into collecting stuff that don't bring any value. I don't like a lot of stuff. Like again, lessons from my childhood. I hated dusting. And I'm like, why do we have all these little trinkets, gnomes, and stuff, plates that we ain't never gonna use, like display? Like what?
Why do we have a china cabinet? What the fuck is a china cabinet for? Niggas do not go to the china cabinet and use any of those fucking dishes. Like, why do we have a china? Like, it makes no sense. We literally collect things.
We're supposed to use that on Sunday dinners. You know what I'm saying? But how many people really have
niggas at the table no more? Niggas got food trays. Niggas like in my living room, I got this little table that raises up, like it has one of those like the top of it raises up to like food level where you can put your food there, like right in front of the TV. And it's funny too. I bought a table. I was like, you know what? I need a dining room table. I didn't need a dining room table, but I bought one. I was like, let me have it because I liked it too. It was nice rooms to go. Not trying to promote them, but anyway, bought this table, and I barely even sat at the table. Like I eat more in the other. Now, granted, like we playing cards and stuff like, and that was one of the one things because I would pull out the motherfucking the
foldable
table.
Foldable table.
Yeah, I pull a foldable table or even the outdoor table that's patio furniture. Pull that in, like if I had people over and then we play cards on that, and nobody ever complained, you know. So all that being said, I just wanted the house to look a little bit nicer, so I bought the table. But all that being said, I don't use that bitch. But I ain't, you know, that's the one I'm not gonna, you know, just throw out because I paid like shit $1,100 for it. But I like the table. I was in the store. I was like, I'm gonna get that table one day, and I went back in that bitch and got it. So
Man, I'm gonna tell you where I got my dining room table to this day. My man, when I first moved to Orlando, he was moving out. One of the guys I work with, he was moving out of his out of their house, and he was like, "I got a bunch of stuff I'm getting rid of." And then he was like, "You need a washer and dryer, or you need?" I was like, I'll take a washer and dryer." He was like, "Well, just get a truck and bring it over." And like when I came over, he was like, "You need a dining room table?" It was a decent dining room table that has a leaf in it to spread far. And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I don't have one. So it'll be a good addition because I
never believed in buying a table. Like,
man, my mom, she was one of the people that would buy a living room set, buy a dining room set, and then like 5-6 years later, get rid of it and buy another one. So like, I didn't buy furniture for a while because I was like, yo, this is good. My mom I took her old stuff. Now I had my mom's old stuff. I had 2 sets of my mom's old furniture, one in my basement and one in my living room. The only reason why I had to get big and buy some furniture is because I looked at the furniture and I was like, yo, like with kids and stuff making a mess
like this.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is terrible. Like I seen my granddaughter. I was like, I had video of her, and I was like, look, this couch has stupid stains on it. I'm like, I can buy another couch. Like I could, yeah.
Listen, I remember staying in an apartment after college, and like I said, we didn't have no money. I went to my guys, my college roommate. I went to his wedding this past weekend, and you know, and all that being said, like we had, like my mom bought some couches for me from Aunt Shirley, and I had those couches. Like I said, they weren't like, because I don't know if you remember, Aunt Shirley at one point in time had a furniture business, whatever. But
I didn't know she had a furniture business. I remember she had. Oh yeah, I did because she had like a warehouse.
She had everything. Look, she still owe me. We ain't gonna talk about that anyway, because I bought a motherfucking desk and I never got my shit, and she literally told me like, that's on you. And I'm like, all right. But anyway, I bought some used furniture, or mom's bought some used furniture from her, and like not even from the furniture place, from her house, and that's where, like, I had those couches. Like those were my first set of couches, because before that, all I had was a futon and a camping chair with an extended leg rest on it. That was literally my room. That was Jay's room. I gave it to Jay, like it was Jay's room. I let him have his own room, and I just chilled on the couch at that point in time. But all the been said, like, nigga, like my base furniture. And I was watching Breaking Bad. I've been rewatching it and shit. And I was looking at I don't know if you watched Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember Jesse Pinkman. He was the other dude that Walter White and Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah,
so
he broke him into the business. Yeah.
So Jesse Pinkman in his house, the nigga had a futon, and the nigga had like some large speakers and like a stereo. That was all the nigga had in his house. And I was like, it was so reminiscent of how I thought when I was younger versus now. Like, and granted, now I have all new, since I moved into the house. I finally bought some furniture maybe around like 2012, 2013 when I moved to Ypsilanti. And I had that furniture all the way until 2013, all the way until like 2022, somewhere around there. And I was like, man, it's time to get some new furniture. So no, take that back. That's a lie. I bought new furniture when I moved into the house, but I still had the older furniture. So I still had those couches. They were so comfy too, but I had those couches, and I ended up buying new furniture. I think it was around 2021, 2022. But it took me a while. Because I would go into and this is, I say fuck a sale. It don't really, like, sales are good, but I went into rooms to go. I saw this furniture. I was like, I want that couch set. But I was like, I couldn't afford it. Like, it was like $2,600 or something, like $3,000. And I was like, well, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till they go on sale. That shit never went on sale. That shit never. And Rooms to Go don't even do sales like that. They'll say, well, we promoting da da da. But I asked the lady, I was like, when is this going on sale? Because I'm that nigga. And she's like, well, we really don't do sales and stuff like that. I was like, all right, cool. So I waited.
I've got some sets, some bedroom sets through there, and they'd be like 7 pieces but the 7 pieces, 5 other pieces be for the bed, and then you get a dresser and a mirror.
Yeah. Yeah. Now look, all my and granted, I started out doing the Wayfair, and that's why I was like, okay, this ain't it. Like, I was buying stuff. I bought a bed from Wayfair. I bought a desk from Wayfair. And I bought my outdoor furniture from Wayfair. And none of that shit lasted. I just, like, the bed, I just tore down and threw it out because that was a piece of shit. And the furniture the outdoor furniture wasn't that bad, but I didn't like it. So I just went on and I gave it to my neighbor across the street, and I went on and bought new furniture. But I'm all that to say, like, if you want it, just go ahead and get it, nigga. I was in Sam's Club, and this goes back to the things that's being on sale. I was in Sam's Club and I saw this outdoor furniture, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good deal. But the only thing was they didn't deliver it to you. Like, so that's, that was them trying to get rid of excess stock and stuff like that. So I had to, I rented a truck from Home Depot, drove out to where they had it available, dropped it at the crib, and went back. I rented for like a couple hours or something like that. But long story short, if you want something, get it. As an adult, don't be hostage into a way of thinking, being younger, thinking that, oh, you have to do it like this, you have to do it a certain way. Just go ahead and do it, because and don't put yourself in a bind doing it though as well too. But just note that if you want it, then find a way to get it, because sometimes we get locked into the constraints of what we can and can't do, and it's really like money is essentially the only thing that could stop you from getting most things that are tangible in life. You just got to think a little bit bigger.
And see what's crazy, and I like the topic what you was talking about, fake versus real, right? Because money is an obstacle, but for some people, like, money ain't really that obstacle. Like like I look at some people and I'll be like, dog, I love how they putting it together. They living their best life, but I couldn't do it because they live on the edge at times. And I'm looking like, dog, you spend, let's say, I've seen some girls spend like $1,500 on hair. You know what I'm saying? Like hair, getting braids, and then nails and everything. And I'm like, yo, money obviously ain't an issue with y'all. Like, that's what I really want people to understand. People is spending money. I don't necessarily know if they're leveraging the future earnings, you know what I'm saying, and saying, being like, yo, I'm gonna have bad credit, I'm gonna live with it. But yeah, like
within that box.
Yeah, you understand what you spend for one, and that's one of the life lessons that I learned. Because, like, I'm gonna tell you, I had 3 big things that I learned as a kid. One, the basketball court taught me, dog, if you want respect, you gotta earn it and you gotta keep it, right? So if you go to the basketball court and you and to this day, I live by the same law. Ain't nobody taking my necks. You know what I'm saying? I fight for this. I grind for this because.
Oh, why was that such a problem? Why? Like, if I call next, why was that such an issue? With, oh, I ain't hear you call next, or we didn't even see you, nigga. I call next. Like, I've been sitting here. You don't gotta pay, like, and that's the thing. You ain't gotta pay attention to me to understand that I got next. But if I call next, you're not taking my next. And even
what does that mean? Because
go
people
even
that don't know what
further.
that means. There's some people that don't know what that means, Sean.
Okay. So in basketball, pickup ball, etc. If you're on the sideline and you get to the court and they're already running and like they're playing basketball already, they're playing a game of 5-on-5, and to get on the court, you gotta once the one team loses, you got the next game, and within the next game, it's so many levels of the next game that you have to think about. Like you got to think about picking the right team. You got to think about who's going to run with you, who's coming off the court, or who from the losing team are you going to pick up off the court, or are you going to play with who's ever on the sideline? Because I've always been an advocate of playing with who's on the sideline, but at the same, you don't want to play with somebody that sucks, you know what I'm saying? And you want to make sure that if you get on the court, you can stay on the court. So it's always finding a balance, because I'm the person that, as I said, I want to have a pretty good team so I can stay on the court, but I don't want to be that guy that says, well, I always hated this, and I would get this probably about a good 50 to 75% of the time, is that, well, let me see who lose first. That shit always bothered me. I was like, well, nah, pick up on the sideline. You got all of these people that's waiting to play. Go ahead.
All that to say, these are my Saturday games. So I play on the weekend down here, right? At the public court, right?
Mm-hmm.
It really depends on what you're doing. If you're trying to get runs in, we just on Saturday, that's our day. That's the day that the older folks proclaim as ours, right? Mm-hmm. So now, because we out there in the morning, we set the tone. You pick up
the next
OG. 5. Yeah, you pick up the next 5 here. You don't get to pick the people off the court. The next 5, the next 5 is who playing, right? So you don't get to pick, and we run it. So we not like you. We get the ball and we going. Like we out here to get some good runs, and so now Sunday is the games where the young people is like, yo, we trying to win, right? Mm-hmm. And they want to pick. And a lot of times they'll pick the people that's on the court that's playing incredibly well will be the ones that stay on the court. It'll be like, you have to wait next after next after next, because when you say next, when you say I got next, if a person ain't picking you up, like you said, like if they say, let me see who lose, you got to call next. So if they lose, the person coming off the court, anybody coming off the court, don't call next and take your next. These niggas will take your next. I come from Craig School where, it was a school that then, but the court, we be up there playing, the younger people be up there playing, the older people come and take us off the court. And then you be like, I want to play next. They be like, yeah, okay. And then you'll never get back on the court. Like, I stated my claim, and I was like, look, y'all, we was playing here, and I'm gonna continue playing here, and it was my next. I'm playing. Give me the ball, and ain't nobody playing until I get on the court, right? Yeah. But I had to have a little stature, I couldn't be no. And then when you got out there, you tried to make your team win. Like that. Those were the points that I learned that with pickup ball, and it translated to anywhere I go on the court, even Puerto Rico when I went on the court. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, I got next. So mark me down. I'm playing. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody taking my next. And like you said, that lesson, that lesson.
It literally you're standing your guard, you're standing your ground, and you're fighting for the next. I don't want to say in basketball, but you're fighting for the next thing that you want to have. And a lot of people don't fight for, I feel like sometimes people expect, it's like, well, no, in the basketball sense, I expect to be running next because, I'm me. It's like, no, nigga, I've earned the right to get the next game because, I fought for it, and I'm sitting here waiting for my next opportunity to be able to, quote unquote, ball out, I guess.
Yeah, and if they take your next, they just figure you ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas be taking next and not even picking you up. And I'm like, hold on, like what kind of like, nah, like, but I, like you said, I've learned in the sense that if you don't speak up for it, then it is what it is. Like we ain't, and it ain't been too. I mean, I've seen some fights on the court, but it ain't been too many instances, or I like them instances are minimal that somebody's gonna continue fighting you for it. They just testing you and seeing if you go fight for it or not. Like. And honestly, in some situation, I mean, if I actually had next, I'm gonna fight for it. But if it was like a little bit of blurred lines and like who was in the gym and stuff like that, I'm like, well, why don't we just run together? That'll make it easier. Like, and when you get to that point, well, no, I'm gonna wait till I'm big enough off the court. I'm like, nah, nigga, like either we go run together or it's my next. So,
yeah. So I mean, like, what other childhood things did you? Like I said, I got 3, and the basketball was definitely one of the ones that I'll never forget, because like that was like my rite of passage, and I see that it translated from Venice Beach. Like when I went to Venice Beach when I was in the project in New York, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, yo, I mean that. Like my little city prepared me for that.
Yeah. I would say I mentioned this earlier, but operating within the box. And I say that as in you only know what you see. I had to learn outside of the smaller mentality that there's more out there for me. Like I said, I was just happy to, I don't know, have like I still to this day, I think I might have borrowed your jeans or Lewis jeans, but I've never had a pair of used jeans. Like I never owned a pair of used jeans. I remember borrowing like slick jeans, and I think those was Lewis's too. But all that being said, like I don't like. I think outside more now that I mean, yes, that was what was it, sayings and all that stuff, and I didn't really, it was like
you can get used from sayings. Like I got used from Burlington.
Yeah, or TJ Maxx and all that stuff. I mean, but I remember getting my first triple fat goose. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a big thing for me. Like
and that was raw, boy. I was like, oh, I'm getting one. I got one.
Didn't you have the full length? I can't remember.
I had the 3/4, but mine had carpet on it. It had the Sherlin type collar, the bigger collar.
Yeah.
The green, it was green and brown, but like you can't tell me nothing because yours was totally reversible. Mine wasn't totally reversible because
I love my triple nigga. That triple fat goose was.
But like, dog, you had the starter gear, dog. You had the start. I want to say,
but that was me. I worked at Imperial Sports though. I got 40%.
Wait,
off.
You didn't work at Imperial Sports when you had the Charlotte one though, right?
No, so these are the ones I had. I had because I didn't get the first one. I still remember Marani. Marani had the red, was it San Francisco? No, UNLV. Oh, no. Marani had the UNLV, and I was like, oh, that's dope. And, because NWA had the Raiders one and shit. I didn't get one until the pullover. I had the Penguins pullover, like black, yellow, and white, or it was like yellow and white with the stripe. That was the first one I had, but that was Imperial Sports time. Like that was no, take that back. It wasn't Imperial Sports time. That was, I think I bought it at Imperial Sports, but that was my first delve into, because I think the ones with just the emblem on the back, I think that came out maybe 8th grade or 7th grade. But then the one after the full pullover with the little zip on the side, I think that was maybe 8th or 9th grade or somewhere around there.
I remember when we were bowling at Maple Bowling Lanes. So like that's how I was like, yo, I know you were
probably 8th grade then. Yeah, because I just remember getting a triple fat goose around, because it was junior high. I remember getting that around 8th or 9th grade because I was hyper. Like, nigga, I got a triple fat goose. Nigga, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, nigga, I had that. I remember the feathers was coming out and shit. Like, but all that to say, like, I learned that there's more out there, than just what we saw. Cause like,
where did you get your triple fat goose from? I know getting mine from Grand Rapids.
It was Burlington. It was Burlington. Okay.
Yeah,
it was definitely Burlington. Because, like, dog, listen, to even that part of being outside of Mesquite and seeing that, going to Grand Rapids got more stuff, or going to Detroit has more stuff, or going to New York has more stuff, or going to Chicago has more stuff. And it's like being I'm well, I want to say well traveled now, but like I had never been to Detroit until I went to college. You know what I'm saying? I had never been
me too.
directly to Chicago. Like the only places I had been was Mississippi. You know, it was no I didn't go to Flint until I went with you. You know what I'm saying? You had family there.
But you haven't been to Grand Rapids. You have been to Chicago.
I had been to Chicago.
You definitely been to Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo because when you with us when we went to Kalamazoo when Dad was showing us our people or something in Kalamazoo.
Nope. You talking about was that Rick? Nah, that wasn't Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky was with us too. Yeah, it was us three.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So because that was the only time I had ever been to Kalamazoo, and I was like, Kalamazoo, like where they get this name from?
I had never been to any of these places. So say for instance with Kalamazoo, I've been to Kalamazoo. Well, I've been there more now than ever because Aunt Alice is there or Portage. But like only time I would go to places was traveling with the band. No, and that's okay. So a little bit of a lie. I had been to Chicago because I went with the band, but I hadn't been to like Chicago to like be there. Like we were literally going for a band trip to perform. It wasn't like you going to Chicago to to have not a coney, but to have a Chicago style hot dog and stuff like that.
Witness the culture. Yeah, you weren't going there to witness the culture. See, yeah. I had went.
And it's like seeing the bigger things out. Like, I mean, I told you, I still want to go to Mississippi to this day. Like, and it's probably way better than what I thought it was. But for me, in my head, like it was a way of punishment. It was almost damn slavery, like punishment to send you down there on the fucking plantation almost. But all the being said, seeing things like as I'm older, I'm like, oh, these things are here. These things are like. My exposure to what's out there, like it was funny. I was who house was I at? I was with my brother Sam, and like a Tesla rolled by, and he's like, "Oh, that's old girl, da da da, with Tesla, da da da," and I'm like, damn, like I don't know who drive. Like I see Teslas all the time. Like I'm not privy to who drives what in the city. And I'm like, we're that small to be like, well, that's Keisha's Tesla or right down the street. Like, I don't know, or that's Evelyn's Escalade or stuff like that. Like, I don't know people's, and maybe I should know, but Atlanta's too big to pay attention to what everybody got going on. You got to focus. And that's one thing I had to learn about myself. I was like, focus on yourself. Rather than, and this is one of the topics but like people watching, like one thing I've learned about success is I try to see things I'm like, well, like say I go to not a company outing, but somebody from the company has a barbecue or something like that. And I'm like, okay, this is a nice house. And I'm not looking at it as in, I envy or I want what they have. But I'm looking at it. It
inspires you. It inspires you.
Right. I'm looking from the inspiration side. I'm like, well, I can have this. If I want it, and I can, if I invest in it, rather than I want what they got, da da da. And I feel like sometimes on a smaller scale, from like that person as an example saying, oh well, look at Keisha with her Tesla, is like, do you want the Tesla to like? Is that like, because I never looked at status symbols. I look at me, like if I have a Tesla or I want to just say Tesla, but if I had because I know you have not hybrid, but electric cars, is that, I don't look at it like, oh, well, Brian got the K4, da da da, or I mean, Brian has an electric car. I need to get one, da da da. I'm like, no, like I'm more inspired that, it's like, well, he has those things. I don't envy, or what's the word? I forgot the word in the Bible, but covet. But I don't covet what you have. I'm more so inspired by, He's like, okay, well,
like you out there getting
he's
it.
doing
Like,
things. Yeah, he's earning what he has. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And
I
that's what I
mean, that
want
was
to
a
get.
goal of his, and he reached his goal. Like that's the way I look at it too. So like,
Yeah.
we're going back to the lessons learned from childhood. Like I think I spoke about it on the podcast before. Like when niggas was at the corner, like they used to be at this corner, right at the corner of Monroe and 8th Street, well 9th Street or whatever, and Park. It's Park, yeah, 8th and Park, 9th Street. And they used to all they used to do was talk about what they did in high school, and I was like, yo, that can't be success. Right? Is that what these like all these dudes do is reminisce on like, and these was dudes I ain't gonna say I looked up to, but I knew like to be the best football players, the best basketball players, and like these cats is sitting here drinking 40s on a corner, talking about their high school days and women that probably wasn't worth what. Like I'm like, no, this can't be life, right? So this inspired me to be like, look, man, I don't want to be in Muskegon. I don't. If this is what they think is success, if this is what they manage, I said it's got to be more. It can't be. This can't be life. That like Jay-Z said in this song, it's got to be more because, like, for me to grow up to aspire to be this
He's an
dude on the
inspiration.
corner, yeah, yeah,
inspiration. Yeah. Like I look at these people. I look at them for, like I said, I don't want what Jay-Z has. I don't want what 50 have. I look at them as, like you said, inspiration to, because I was talking to someone the other day and they were saying how 50 doesn't 50 doesn't like, he doesn't have like these family values, da da da. And I was telling them, I was like, well, for one, I'm not looking at his personal stuff because I care less. But two, I see him with his young. I mean, when somebody, I feel like this. 50 is very, not petty, but 50 is very, I would say, emotional in the sense that if someone comes at him, then you're the op and you're the op forever. It doesn't matter blood, relationship, etc., friend, whatever. If you come at me, I'm coming back at you. So as an example, you look at him and his son, I think it's DeMarcus or his Marquise. Yeah, his son, his son said something about him. And one of the things that 50 said that kind of resonated with me, he was like, well, so, and he was trying to, it's weird when you start to get to that point of, okay, now you done created an op with 50, and that's what you don't want to do. But he was explaining, he's like, well, most of the time, us as men, we side with the mom. And like for mom, father relationship and stuff like that, we side with the mom. So whatever disdain that he was essentially saying, whatever issues that she has with me, he's picking those up, even though we still have a relationship together where, I'm there for him. I still, do the child support. I still pay for his things. I still make sure that he's, in a good space. But when you get to the point of like creating, like you hanging with Floyd Mayweather or Rick Ross and stuff like that, and I don't mess with those dudes, it's like you're just doing this more so from the attention standpoint that I can't really fuck with you.
Yeah, you being used as a pawn.
Yeah,
right.
But you're letting it happen. Like you don't see Ja Rule's, kids hanging with 50 to get Ja Rule's attention. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy to me that.
I mean, but like he kind of shut that down with just that one thing. He's like, dude, you've had over $7 million in your life, and what do you have to show for it? Like it's one way. Like people always looking for people to blame, and like I get it. You know what I'm saying? But like,
nah, bro, it's on you all day.
That 50, because he has that ferocity of like, yo, I ain't messing with nobody, but when y'all mess with me and when y'all want to play, let's play. Like,
I got time. I mean, and that's just. I never like when people like, oh, 50's a bully. I was like, well, he even said it himself. It's like when people come at him, it's not really noticed, but when he comes back at them, just because of who he is as a person or what he's seen as a bully. And I'm like, I remember that is it Tierra Marie thing, and she tried to sue him, and it didn't work out for her. and he countersued and he won. And every time he'll pull up on Instagram or whatever social media, he'd be like, "Yo, where my money at? You lost. Like, where my money?" Like, and like, "Well, why are you asking her for money? She doesn't." I was like, "Yo, she literally sued him first to say that and lied about it, and then he won the I forgot what was the title of the suit, but eventually, I mean, he won. It was like
Yeah,
it
he
wasn't
got the
nothing but like
judgment.
$30,000.
Yeah, it was his judgment. And I mean, she even came on the Breakfast Club like, yeah, I know I owe him the money, but do we need it? Again, when
I
you
want all my coins.
that's another lesson I
want
learned.
everything I earn. If I earn $50, I can make 6 figures. I want all my money.
I still have tabs on people that owe me money from high school, right?
Yep.
But
I want every single coin.
On that other message, on that, like, did you learn that? Was that a lesson from your childhood that you learned that you want everything owed to you?
You said so ask me the question again.
Was that a lesson that you learned from your childhood that you want everything owed to you?
I don't want anything owed to me.
No, I'm saying if somebody borrow money or somebody break your stuff or something like do you want?
Oh, okay. I've written off some people. But at the same time, the lesson I learned was it won't happen again. And I feel like I'm very generous in a sense that I'm not stupid, but I'm generous as in, hey, you need help. How can I help you? I'm always trying to, and like I said, I'm not this saint or anything like that, but if I can help in some way, I will, and it was, I remember one time, I think I mentioned it, I can't remember, but this chick borrowed like $400 from me and I never got it back. And then turn around, and I'm making this story short because she was on some fuck shit, but long story short, she turned around and asked me for some money maybe like last year or something like that. But the time that she had told me nothing I did mention it, but she had told me not in the grand scheme of things, she said verbatim, did you ask God for your money? I was like, what? But anyway, but then fast forward like 8 years, she asked me for some more money. And not to say I was a dick about it, but I felt warranted. But I was like, did you ask God for this money? And that she was trying to borrow from me? And that was kind of like the end of it. Don't take advantage of me. Like, I don't mind if I have it, I'll give it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just how, like, if she had said something like, I won't have it, and I don't know when I'm gonna get it. So when I get it, I'll give it to you. Because in my mind, the way I work, like, say for example, if I owe some money, blah, 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 I'm always looking at ways to pay it. So as an example, if I owe you $400, I'm like, well, even if I break that down within 10 months, like, that's $40 a month. I can figure out $40 a month. I'm not gonna pay. I don't like being paid part of my money, but I want all my money at the same time. So I would rather you say, well, I ain't gonna have it. I'll pay you in like 6 to 8 months and be fine with that. Like, okay, cool. But if you tell me some bullshit like ask God for my motherfucking money, I'm like, nah, nigga, like, and it ain't no way you can come back and ask me for any more, But that owing part is definitely huge. But I had to learn that's the other part that I learned as well, too, is to let that stuff go and move on. Like I said, they still owe me money, but I could sit up here all day. It's a quote from Tupac that I love the quote. He's like, it was about spilled milk. And he was like, you can cry all day, you can be all mad that, this happened, or you could just let that shit go and move on. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I had to learn how to move on from things rather than holding things within and just making myself mad. And I was like, yo, I can't like that person. I remember my roommate, he ended up passing, but my roommate in college or after college, he I would pay rent. I would give him the rent money. He would take the rent money and pay my rent and not his. And he ended up I went to the office. I was like, is there any, and this just happened. I go to the office. I was like, hey, is there anything that we owe or anything like that? Is everything in good space? Like, well, no, you guys are about to get evicted. I'm like, what? And I'm not even knowing this. So then I come back to the apartment. I tell him, he's like, hey man, I ain't had the money. I was like, bro, I'm over here clearing shit, nigga. That was at the height of DJing. Like I'm promoting, so I'm clearing easily, probably on a DJing tip, like $3,000-$4,000 a week. You know what I'm saying? And that's, like I said, that's on the low end. But I'm paying my rent, and you just sitting up here just not paying it at all, and I'm over here balling my ass out over here, and
about to get evicted.
Yeah, we about to get evicted. We went to him and his mom, like we went to court, and his mom ended up paying it, and then he's still, and that's one thing on my credit report. It's not on there no more. Of course, that was from like 2005, but that's one thing on my credit report I refused to pay, because what he did was it got paid, and then we moved out. And we moved out in July, and that's when I moved to Chicago. But that happened in May, so he didn't pay June and July, which ended up on the credit report for like $600. Like our rent was only $650 a month at the time, and we split. We got a 2-bedroom flat in fucking Lansing, Michigan for I'm paying $325. He paying $325. So it ended up being on my credit report for like $7. I was like, that's one thing. I was like, my pride would not allow me to pay that $700 to get that shit removed from my credit report. But all that being said, like, even still with him, I knew that he couldn't pay it. He still remained a good friend of mine, but at the same time, I knew I wouldn't do like money transactions.
Yeah, I can't do business with him. I can't do business with him. Yeah, dang. So like you actually hit another one that I learned, like the third one.
I won't do money transaction with my mom either. So, but keep going.
I don't do business with my mom anymore. Like I can't say that because I still do run her cell phone. Like I still
pay
have
for
her
my cell phone. Yeah, no, but I will not. I will not look. Oh man, so another story time. So and you know how my mom can be. So story time. I forgot what I was doing. It was something, and I called the phone company, T-Mobile or Sprint. Well, they the same now, but I called them, and I was like, hey, and I had automatic payments, stuff like that, or auto pay, and I was like, hey, look, I don't like how high my bill is. Y'all need to do something about this, because we were starting to get into the 200s. I was like, why am I paying over $200 for a phone? And I'm hearing deals like, oh, you could pay $45 or $35 per phone or whatever per month, unlimited. And I'm like, okay, wait, I'm over here paying fucking 200 plus for a phone bill. So then I call him. I was like, hey, okay, so start taking these things off. But then they tell me, well, you have this line, you have this line, you have this line. I was like, what's this other line? Like, we only have 2 phones on our account. It's like, no, well, you have this iPad on here. And I was like, the iPad on here? Like, where did that come from? And I'm gonna give a little bit of context. My mom is not internet savvy at all. She doesn't have an email address. She doesn't go. If you asked her a URL, she would not be able to tell you, even though the URL would essentially be the company's name. It's like it essentially be jcpenney's.com or Nike.com, whatever. She would not be able to tell you how to get somewhere online. So,
and she don't care. And she don't care too. Like, that's the thing. She don't care unless she can find a benefit to her right there. She don't care.
She's not gonna do it. So she has internet service on this iPad. It's like, why does she have internet service where she doesn't even use it? Mind you, she got an iPad that has added additional $43 a month on my account because she didn't pay for it, or that was the way for her to pay for the iPad.
Yeah.
So essentially what they did was Sprint told her that you can get this iPad for free if you sign up for this package or if you sign up for this service. So essentially that added extra $43, $45 to my account per month, plus paying for her phone, da da da. So I have auto pay. Like I wasn't really monitoring. I could blame myself for that, but at the same time, I'm never going to. If I'm not paying a bill, I'm not adding nothing to anybody else's bill. Like that's just how I like. I look at it like, look. If I buy you, like, if I take you out, I got a story about that too. But if I'm like, hey Brian, let's go grab some food, da da da. I wouldn't, and you don't drink, but I wouldn't expect you to be like, yeah, let me get this appetizer. Let me get this dessert. Da, da, da. I would expect you to be, and this is with dating too. I would expect you to be very careful on the things that you order. Like, we're not balling out here. I'm buying your meal. Eat the fucking meal. Like, if you get a drink, whatever. But, don't be buying like five. Don't be trying to be on my tab just because it's my tab.
Dog.
No, the bill ran up. Huh?
Real quick, my mom did that to me. I took her to Red Lobster, and I thought, yeah, mom, get what you want. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that she would be the one to be like one of them dates that be like, oh, I want this and that. No, her bill was crazy. I was like, this will never ever happen again. I'm never taking my mom back out to eat.
I'm gonna go back to my mom's story, but I got a story about one of my sisters. But this one was funny because it didn't fall back on me. But I'm gonna tell that in a second. But so I get with my mom. I'm like, Mom, why the hell is the iPad on here? She's like, well, it was supposed to be for free. I was like, it's not for free. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I don't like, I'm paying for it. And I've been paying, and bro, I've been paying for it for 20 months. Like, I'm paying for you to have an iPad. And mind you, we bought her an iPad for her birthday. So she has 2 iPads. And she only got the iPad because it was for free. But
it was free. The service was additional charge.
Yeah. But she didn't realize it was costing me because it wasn't. Don't spend other people's pockets. You know what I'm saying? And Grant, I think it ended up, I counted the math out. I think it was like at 20 months. I think it ended up being like $800. When I did the math, and I still have, because it was for 2 years, I had 24 months to pay it. I mean, it was a damn near paid off. So I was like, Ma, look, I was like, you owe me $800. I was like, that's just the bottom line of it. It's like, I ain't sitting up here, and granted, I don't necessarily have to collect it from you, but you fucked up $800 plus another $160 just go come from paying this iPad off. So I don't know if you remember, but you was there when the shed got when we demolished that shit and threw all that shit out. I was in her car and it didn't have any brakes in it. And I was, backing into, and I'm gonna keep this story short, but I was backing into
the driveway.
Yeah, the driveway, and the brakes. Like I said, it was no brakes. So I'm like, shit, what the fuck? So then I'm riding back towards the back of the alley in reverse, and like hit her shed. And when I hit her shed, it had like a dent. It wasn't like, because I wasn't like I was, driving fast. It was maybe like going at 3 or 5 miles per hour, if anything. But, so the shed stopped me from rolling into the alley or one of them trees in the backyard. But shed was maybe $300 or $400. She'll still tell you to this day I owe her for her shed. And I told her, I was like, listen, I was like, you owe me for the iPad. We're clear. Like, Like it's like sometimes people feel like you owe them, but they don't owe you because they gave you life type of shit. It's like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
like
they
you
gave
owe
you
me.
life and
Like,
everything,
fuck all that.
everything.
Like, no, you ran up my fucking bill, and I'm coming out of pocket out of this, and I'm not even knowing. But she was like, you need to call the people. I was like, no, you need to call them. Like, I
Yeah, my
don't owe
mom
you.
would have been
Like,
like, "That's your fault. Why you ain't? You could have been told me that. Why you waiting? Why you waiting 20 weeks? What, you need some money or something? Is that what you?"
nah, see, now
That
that's
would have
that
been my
bullshit.
mom.
Like, why in the fuck would you do like? You already have an iPad, and granted, my mom has an iPad, or she had 2 iPads, and she had I gave her a tablet. So we all bought our iPad for her birthday initially, and then I gave her a tablet that I actually won from work or whatever, but it wasn't Mac, and I didn't really like the functionality of it, so I gave that to her. And then she went and got another iPad, and that was the thing I was more pissed. I was like, "What'd you do with the iPad that we bought you?" Screen cracked or something like that. I'm like, get the screen fixed. If it's not worth it, then don't get it fixed. But don't drain my money. But okay, so this last story, then we go back into some topics. I don't know how much time we got. But my sister, I was DJing in Houston. And mind you, like if like most of the time, like as a DJ, it's if they give you a tab, that's cool. If they don't, that's cool. Like I usually just like if I'm going to drink, I'll just bring my own liquor in with my equipment because it just makes logistical sense for me. So my sister, actually Tari came too, but my sister was thought of all of the drinks. She's like, "Oh, I'm with the DJ." And I'm getting ready to leave, like leaving out, carrying my equipment. And I was like, "Yo, I got liquor like here if you want something." Like it's literally, and it's crazy. I wasn't even really drinking, but I always have it in like one of the containers or whatever, just so I ain't got if I am drinking. But anyway, we get ready to leave. She's like, "Hey, blah blah blah." I was and like the person that was talking to her, she's like, it's like, "Oh no, the DJ doesn't get da da da." But she had bought like 5 or 6 drinks on the bill. I was like, that's you. Like, like that ain't look. I have liquor here that you could have had. And like I said, I think I took one drink. I don't want to be like in the club, like trying to pour shit. So, and I'm like the focal point. So one, like I could just be pulling it out, but at the same time, I could have made sure she got a drink out of it. But I was like, yo, like, why in the hell? Like, I can't remember the last time I went to a spot and I was just like,
So how much those drinks cost? Like $20 each, or like because my brother said he spent $300 at the bar. I'm like $300.
Your brother wilding.
I guess they buy rounds or
Josh
whatever.
is wilding. No, because the thing, like the whole idea of drinking, in my opinion, at least for me, and maybe I'm just still used to that. But I would start at home, and then when I go out, I probably have 1, maybe 2 drinks. You know what I'm saying? Just so like, because I want to calm down. I want to be able to settle down to feel comfortable to drive. I don't want to drive like. I mean, I'm already driving quote unquote reckless, but I don't want to like drive like where I feel like I'm uncomfortable to drive. I had a friend one time, man, like this dude, it was funny as hell. Like he was like, we had went to this spot. You remember Wet Willie's? Well, it's still in Miami, but it was a Wet Willie's here. But we had went to Wet Willie's.
Ain't that a strip club?
Nah, it's a slushy drink place.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. They got them in New Orleans too. Wet Willie's.
Yeah, and Vegas too. So he was hitting me up. He's like, hey, we go here, da da da. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, I'll meet you over there. He's like, well, I'm like, can you come pick me up? And I was like, nah, nigga, like, hey, nah. So
Man,
so he Ubered there.
Picking people up, man, and giving people rides.
Bro, why? Like, listen, I tell people all the time, like, I'm like, hey, look, I didn't drive. Like, figure it out. Like, and I would just walk around the corner and get in my car. But it's like, bro, like, you are grown. Like, if you you drive yourself, or you figure out how you go get home yourself. And granted, if it's within if it's within reason, I don't mind driving. But and I'm gonna give a little context once I get a little bit further within the story. But at the end of the day, or at the end of the night, he was like, "Oh man, can you give me a ride home?" I was like, "Nah." I was like, "You can Uber." I was I'm out here, I'm actually out here, drinking and stuff like that. I'm not about to put myself in a position to drive you home and then drive myself home. And now here's where the numbers make sense. So he stayed 10 miles north of where we were. I stayed 12 miles south of where we were.
Oh, yeah.
So I look at that, like, people don't, like, I feel like sometimes when, and this is kind of with the iPad situation or the club situation, they don't realize the impact that it has on you because it's such a small impact on them. So like me driving him home is nothing but a 10, 15 minute drive. But me driving me home is a 15, 30, 45 minute drive.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I was like, you can Uber. He's like, oh man, my phone about to die. I was like, I call the Uber, shoot me the money. Like, I'm not going to do it just because. I'm like, bro, like you chose your path, how to get here. And this is one thing. This goes to the first topic as well. It's just like, I don't have to do these things for you to be. I feel like the tricky part about that, like being a people pleaser, is that as a DJ, that's how I make my money. But I don't make my money pleasing people in real life. You know what I'm saying? I don't make my money. I don't feel like it can impact the relationship that with you with somebody. I mean, I remember one time, like, this chick asked me to buy her weed, you know what I'm saying, like to go on a date with her. And I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but
that was last.
Yeah, I'm like,
no, weed is, yeah.
No, I was like, I don't even know how to buy weed. Like,
writer. She had a writer on the first date. Like, this is what.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I don't even know how to buy these drugs. Like, I would literally have to go to a store or something to be able to do that. Like, I just don't know how. I don't know how to find them.
And not look like the ops. Hey man, you know where I can buy some weed?
Hey, can I buy some drugs, please? I want 2 drugs. It's like, nah, nigga, like,
how much is it for 2 joints? Or how do we roll that blunt? Like, do I get like the wraps and stuff from here? And like,
yeah, like I literally don't know. But it was just funny that my man, I was like, yo, you a dude. Like you even worse. Like I've never been in a situation where I was like, hey, can y'all take me? Like, if I'm on the way, then yeah, I mean, hey, look, can you drop me off over here? But even then, like, to this day, I drive by myself to wherever I go because I'll be ready to go when I'm ready to go. And of course, I play the position, but at the same time, if I had the convenience of having my vehicle available to me, I catch y'all.
That's why I got a car. And back in the day, how I used to ride, like I always been a driver. I ain't much never been like that dude that, because when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. And like my spider sense be tingling, and when my spider sense tingling, I'm gone. So I'm gonna find a way out. I mean, it's easier nowadays because now you could, like you said, you could Uber, or you can. It's ways to get
Uber back in that day, nigga. Nigga, it's either you got to ride with somebody or your ass is sitting at home.
Yeah. Like you had nobody to call. Then you, like, if it was too late, nobody was answering the phone either. Like, because it was our phone.
Niggas didn't have cell phone shit. Like, nigga, I ain't get a cell phone. Look, I ain't get a cell phone probably until like maybe 2004, 2003, somewhere around there. Yeah, nigga, I had no cell phone till. Yeah, I didn't have no cell phone. I was definitely out of college.
In the 90s, you ain't have a cell phone?
You said the 90s?
Yeah.
Hell no. Nigga, you know
I
how
was
hard it
telling
was
you,
for DJing, nigga. Like
no,
niggas would hit,
I could
niggas
have
would hit
sold you
my
a selling.
fucking,
I
huh?
could have sold you a selling because like I was selling them back then. So like
Oh
when
no.
I came back from school, I was working at Sears, and I was like, oh, this is the lick right here. Like selling cell
Mhm.
phones, and then the aftermarket of the selling cell phones thing. Like dog, that's why I try to do right because I know I've done wrong in my past.
Nah, it's okay. But listen, but look, it's like this. What Freeway say? If my kid's hungry, steal your dishes out the kitchen. It's like you weren't, you wasn't doing it based off of malice or anything like that. You was doing it off of survival. You was doing it to better your position. You wasn't doing it to
It wasn't
I
for
wanna s
fun.
huh?
It wasn't for gaining
Yeah,
more
you
than
had to. Nigga, I
yeah.
remember look, nigga, I remember one time, like, it was me and my boy Todd from college. And bro, like, I mean, but we can even go back to the CDs, but like in high school. But anyway, me and my boy Todd from college, like we had a little scam that we would like, like books left around and stuff like that, they will return to this certain office. But within this office, there was two doors. So it was a door where the reception lady was at, and then it was like the door behind her, and where the reception lady was at, like a little bit further behind her, that's where they would put the books. So we did this like maybe 2 or 3 times, but I would go and talk to the reception lady and keep her busy or occupied while he'll go back there and grab the books. And then we would take her back to the bookstore, and we wasn't getting a lot. We was probably getting $40, $50 or whatever.
$35 for them thick books that you
Right,
paid $300 for. Yeah.
right. You know what I'm saying? But we just saw it as like, well, shit. Like I always try to put in my mind on why I had to do it.
And that
You and listen, bro, one time at one point in time in my car, nigga, I couldn't afford, like, I got into an accident. I couldn't afford to get the light fixed. So nigga, I had a flashlight in the place of the headlight.
but that
And
builds character.
look, and when I would drive at night, I would turn on the flashlight and keep it moving. Um, like it's nigga, like it was hard times, bro. Like I stayed in the apartment, or I stayed in the house with a couple of my roommates, and our rent each was $175, $185. Nigga, I couldn't afford to stay there. Nigga, I had to move back into the dorm. I took an RA, or they called it minority aid, like to support the black students, but I took a RA position just because I couldn't afford to pay $175, $185 a month for rent for a house.
Wait. Let me rewind this back too, because I don't think people understand the gravity of that lick that y'all was hitting.
That lick was
You would distract the lady to grab these
Mhm.
books. Now, granted, how many books can you grab at a time? You know what I'm saying?
Like four or five. People got like 4 or 5, and then like the only thing that could have got us in trouble, if anything, was like if she looked to the right, because if she looked to the right, because it was glass windows, so she looked to the right, she'd have been able to see him coming, like just from the casting of the shadow or whatever,
and so
or the reflection.
When he picked up these books, right?
Yeah, listen, we did it 3 times. Look, we did it. This is the thing about crime, right? Learn when to quit. Like y'all got to stop taking advantage of the crime and not quitting when it makes sense. Like I remember, okay, so I guess I'll jump into the CD shit. Like we would go to Myers, Walmart. I don't understand. Like it was just kind of like an overall business. And what we would do is we would swap the prices of the CD. Well, we would take the sticker. I don't know if you remember, they used to have them bins. They'd be like $3.99 CD, $4.99 CD. And we would take those stickers and put them on like the SKU because those stickers had the SKU on it, so it was just kind of the way that they managed the business. So those stickers, they had the SKU on it. Put those CD SKUs over the SKU, so it just rung up normally.
Wait
You
a
know,
second.
so
Let me put some perspective on this too, because I know your mama.
mhm.
Now, your mama goes and get produce and always use
4011 bananas.
No matter what
I
expensive
don't.
produce it is.
Now this is abusing the situation. Like that's the problem I have with her is that, and I'm not gonna incriminate my mom, but when you have unlimited access to being able to make sure that your groceries are paid for, you should. There's a point in time where you stop and you just go ahead and eat the full price of said item.
So I just want to give people context where like this. Okay, so now you get the CDs, slap them on there.
Yep. Slap them on there. So I still remember my first CD to this day was D'Angelo Brown Sugar. And I put a $7.99 sticker on there. And I went and scanned it. And granted, I scanned it for the retail was probably maybe $13 or $14.
Okay. So
and I spent $7.99 on that CD. I did it for that. I remember for Mobb Deep, the infamous. I remember them specifically. But me and Eddie, it's funny. We went in there one time just to cash a check. And they were taking I was like, why are they taking so long to cash this, to cash a check? It was just, it might have been, I can't remember what it was, probably from Imperial or whatever. But to cash a check, the guy pulls us to the side, is like, hey, look, you can't come to Myers no more. We have footage of you doing da 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 da, and here are the images. But the thing was, we was doing it so good that they couldn't actually say, they couldn't prove it. Yeah, because what I would do, I knew this is the criminal part. I think I would be a great criminal, but I just don't believe in the risk versus rewards. But I knew where the cameras were. So what I would do was I would grab the sticker from somewhere else, but I made sure that, okay, camera over here, camera right here. I would do it so quickly. I already have the sticker in my hand, put it on the other one, but I make sure that you couldn't see it with the cameras. So when he showed me the little pictures, I was like, oh, y'all ain't got nothing. Y'all just got assumptions. But I got banned from Myers for a year. Me and Eddie got banned from Myers.
Eddie did too, because Eddie was like, I was banned too.
Yeah. No, I mean Eddie was doing it and that nigga was doing it too. That he was the biggest music. Not to say he's the biggest music criminal, but he was the biggest music collector. You know what I'm saying? At that time, Eddie had more CDs than any of us. But fast forward, I was at Michigan State. And I still remember this to the day. So I was like, well, I'm banned from that Myers, whatever. So I go and I get Faith Evans CD. And I put the sticker, do the whole little transactional thing, put the sticker on there. And I'm looking at the register, and I was like, okay, who's, trying to gauge who's not go. And I looked at this one dude, I was like, yeah, he was like a black, weird looking dude. And I was like, yeah, he just go swipe it. So this nigga, I go and swipe the CD, or he goes swipe the CD. He's like, hey, this can't be right. I was like, all right, man, just forget it. Da da da. I just went on and walked off and left. And that was the last time I ever swiped or changed the price of a CD ever in life. Nigga, I was like, I'm done. But it's just understanding that. And granted, I love music, so that was one of the main reasons why I was doing it. And I couldn't really afford to buy CDs at the regular price. But shoot, nigga, times was hard. Like I said, even me moving back into the dorm. But I remember, nigga, I would go to stand in the dorm. My mom gave me $20 for that was $20 for damn near until Thanksgiving. When I went to college, and I was like, Mom, I gotta eat. She's like, well, you got to eat in the calf. I was like,
yeah, they
got food. But listen, The calf closes at 2:00 on Sundays. So like, when am I gonna eat? Like, nigga, I used to go to Yaya. I remember I would go to Yaya's and get their old chicken that they would throw out just because, like, so I can have something to eat on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I don't have no remorse for, like, I don't know. It's just that shit bothers. Like, don't, like, you could have gave me more than $20 to go to fucking college, nigga. Like, I'm over here like trying to figure out how to eat, but at the same time, I'm okay with not tough love. That was just that was dastardly love. Like that.
But you think she knew? You think she knew that? I mean, you think she was?
But so that's the exposure. That's why I say when you're thinking inside of the box and not being able to see outside of it, you're only seeing for yourself. Like you're looking at it like dog. We were survivalists, right? Yes. But you don't want to make I don't want to make you struggle, and I can help you. Like I want you to understand and figure out things on your own. But if I can help you, I want to make sure that I can make. I don't want nobody to have the same path that I have. I don't want nobody to that journey. I don't want nobody to just struggle for the sake of struggling. Like if I can help you within that struggle, then yeah, like. Like it's one of the kids that,
I think that's an issue because like they had to figure it out, right? And like, and their world changed on them, right? The world changed on them to where they like, I don't know what's going on, right? Mm-hmm. So then they like, hey, you from me, you got to figure you'll figure it out. And like I feel the same way you did. If I can give you a lesson that you don't have to go through, and that will help your life. So when my daughter went to Michigan State, I was like, look, I got a little money. I wanted to make sure I had some money. So like, if you do go through that period of time where you don't know how you're going to pay for college, I got you, man. I paid for a semester of her college, and that was not my plan. Right. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you got this opportunity, make use of it. And I think sometimes like even me doing that, like if I would have been a little bit tougher, like, hey, figure this out, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if their generation is built like that because it seems like they just fall and cry or crumble or whatever. Because, like you said, survival of the fittest. Like we got hit the ground. Ain't no such thing as a halfway crook. Like
yeah. But look at so look at it like this, right? Like I'm saying in my situation,
yeah.
If I'm not worried about how I'm eating, I'm not worried about where I'm living. That gives me more time to focus on my education because I was there trying to figure, like, it wasn't like, I mean, it took me damn near 6 years to graduate. And that wasn't because of not knowing, like not being on my shit. It took me that long because of finances. Like I literally lost my financial aid in the middle of 1999 where like my mom got a Parent Plus loan and then I stopped getting the support. I couldn't get another loan within the financial aid process. So it screwed my financial aid up for almost like a year and a half. And then within that year and a half, they were unwilling to give me back the courses that I'd already taken. So I had to retake like 5 or 6 courses that I'd already taken because
like 40 credits.
Because the financial aid didn't come through. So I was still going to class and all of these things, but they wouldn't, and this one, it's funny too. On my cap, I gotta see if I can find it somewhere. My mom might still have it somewhere, but my cap and gown, like when I graduated, like on the top of my cap, it says "fuck Foresight." That nigga probably dead by now, but it said "fuck Foresight."
The programming language?
No, for like Forsyth. It was the guy that was over the computer science program.
Yeah.
And because he wouldn't allow me, like once I got my financial aid situation, nigga, I was sleeping on niggas' couches and all that stuff. Like, nigga, I didn't get my financial aid straightened out. Well, when I got it straightened out, the courses that I took, and the teachers gave me grades, they still trying to push for me, he wouldn't like my computer science, like my core courses. He wouldn't allow them to add it like the class that I had
That's
taken.
your transcripts.
So yeah, so I had to retake all of those classes, and mind you, some of those courses were prerequisites for other computer science courses. So I couldn't I couldn't take them all at the same time. So essentially it added another year and a half, but I was like going hard at it. So I was like, well, shit, I'm gonna take this in the summer. I've only taken summer, like I've taken summer courses damn near every year outside of my co-op just to be able to bounce back from that. I didn't graduate until 2002. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been finished. Like my goal was to be finished, but like at the end of 2000 and or December 2000. But that shit fucked my shit up just because I didn't have the finances there. Like if I was financially stable, and granted, it started being a little bit easier. That's when DJing like started to take off. So it started to be a little bit easier for me to have money available. That's when school got easy for me. Like, nigga, I would just go to class and I'm like, okay, I got it. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
knock it out, do whatever program. But then I would just DJ Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or whatever night I was DJing and make my money. My grades went up when I started DJing. Like when I started spending more time out at night, you know, minus the late nights at the engineering building, my grades went up. You know what I'm saying? Just because I had more money coming in. So I'm saying that from the financial standpoint, I'm like, that's why I always lean on, like, I try not to just lean on me, but I really only have me to lean on to make sure that these expenses are in play, you know, because when it starts to get, people don't realize, like, you know, always try to get to and this is what we was talking about earlier, try to get to the next thing and try to always push for that, because the next thing can make your life that much easier. Like I said, me going through all of this stuff, you may not even known, but you know, and people around me might not even known, you know, it's like, but I'm over here sneaking into dorms, you know, sleeping on my boy pull out dorm room because he has a single, you know, stuff like that. I did that shit for damn near like 4 or 5 months, you know, of not, and still attending classes and still wait. And every other department added my courses except the computer science department. And I'm like, that's what I'm getting a degree in.
Yeah, and that's why Foresight is a program. I wonder if he was a part of that.
Yeah, Foresight. Yeah, Foresight is a language, but yeah, he wasn't a part of it. He was chairperson of the department. He was the person that could have said yes or no. And he literally said no. And I'm like, I felt like it was kind of a
win-win.
Easily like it. This is my problem sometimes with people in general. It's like, if I can make your life easier, I don't ever want to make your life harder. Like I don't live off of spite. It was one thing that and you know, talking from not from the church perspective, but I was listening to church I went to church yesterday, and the pastor said, like, one day in life you're gonna end up helping somebody that you really don't like or that you really despise them. And I'm like, letting go of things can make, you know, like, if I can help you, I want to help you. That goes to the original conversation. Like, if I can help make, in what we were just talking about recently, if I can help and make your path easier, then whether like you're the op or you're somebody who I really believe in, I want to do that, you know. And that's one thing that I learned in life is like, well, I can't hold on and harbor feelings or be upset about something, you know, that was like years ago. Like, of course you can be impacted by it and you're not going to be a fool and let it happen again. But at the same time, like, I don't know, if Idris hit me up and like, hey, look, I need $200. I need to do this for my kids or something like that. I'm like, all right, man, here go $200. You know what I'm saying? Even though, you know, like, I was still impacted by, you know, niggas stealing my shit. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I mean, and man, believe it or not, that's the basis of Nothing New Under the Sun, is because, like, you know, sharing these stories, and if even these words can help you reach another level or reach a plateau where you couldn't reach before, or you know, because ain't nothing new. We just going through the same type of struggle, just at a different time, right? Yeah. It may be a different struggle, but the same elements within, like when I say our parents, my mom didn't go to college. She didn't really know anybody who went to college besides my older sister. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
she figuring this stuff out, as we go. And so like you said, when we need waivers for free waivers and stuff like that, where do you go? Well, like if they listen to the podcast we did last week, they know that, hey, you can go and get a waiver. These application fees are not. Don't let that stand in your way. So like, yeah, it's dope that, and we're gonna have to wrap it up because we at almost at time.
Not a biggie. No, keep going. I mean, we got a few minutes.
Yeah, but like,
it's tough. Keep going. My bad.
Yeah, but that's why it's important for us to get on here, and it's important for us to reach one, teach one, because you never know who you reach and what type of impact. Like I told you, Demarius is like, he's a runner. This dude is running marathons. 26.2 miles or whatever. That's
26.2. That 0.2 matters too. That should be right around there. Cause you get to 26, like you be like, oh god damn, like you damn near be feeling like you want to walk the last 0.2. But nah, man, that's dope. I like that. Like you said, you don't know who you're impacting, and like I said, I say this all the time. Like I don't blame. I appreciated learning young on what to do, because now, I mean, I still figured it out, but I don't put that on anybody to have to learn the things that I had to learn to be able to be successful. I feel like people can still be successful in their own way. And if I help and you still choose to go a different route, then that's on you. But if I don't do any help and you end up going a different route, you almost, like, I feel like sometimes it's because you didn't help me out. It's like, well, no, I don't blame anybody else for anything that I've done except me, because in the grand scheme of things, I made the decisions that I made. I make the decision. I hold accountability to myself for all my losses and for all my gains, so I'm like, hey, look, I did that. I don't know if you remember, it was a scene in was it Coach Carter, and and all these dudes, they was hooping, and they was playing a game. They was like talking shit because they had got good and stuff like that. And then like Samuel Jackson, they were back in practice, and then his son had made a layup. He was like, "Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did." Like he created his son. I was like, like, it was a unique way of saying, like, But then he was like, "No, shut up. Like, this is like, y'all ain't done nothing yet. Like, this is for y'all to keep moving and pushing and and stop trying, like, work as a team, rather than saying, hey, or trying to be the independent. I did that myself. Or I hit that jumper. Or I hit that. It was just an interest to take you." And then he's talking about the shoes. He's like, "Yeah, you see that bow? I did that. I did that bow right now." And I was like, this is.
But
funny.
You did what you were supposed to do. Like Barry Sanders said, look, act like you've been there before. But like you said, and this is what I really would like people to understand on my last words going out of here. But there's a difference between wisdom and a knowledgeable person. Wisdom is somebody who lived through some stuff, and a knowledgeable person is somebody who didn't have to go, who gained the knowledge from somebody who went through it. So I want people to be knowledgeable and wise. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm perfecting to be. So if you get anything from me, get the knowledge so you can be wise.
Yes, sir. And make sure that you pay attention and take heed to what we're saying. We're saying this from experience, but we're saying it from knowledge as well. As in, do what you want to do. Think outside of the box. Try to do more things that make sense for your life. Don't do them just because other people are expecting you to do them. But in the interest of time, thank you all for listening to the Reality Not podcast with Nothing New Under the Sun with your boy Brian Clancy and your boy DJ Reality. Talk to you soon. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a message of topics that could be considered, and we'll talk later. Peace.